Fallout 76 has one massive problem. Okay, the game has a few issues still. I wouldn't say it's really just one problem, but in this video, we're just going to focus on one. That's all we really have time for. That one massive problem in this game is the people. With Bethesda's removal of human NPCs from Fallout 76, they had a cascading effect that I don't even think they realized would have such a big impact. And that is that pretty much everyone in this game is a grade A. In a few videos now, I have looked around at some of the people on the map, tried to interact with them, and the experiences are always ridiculously kind and friendly. Which naturally, that's one of the most un-Fallout things you could even imagine. Look back to Fallout 4, like 50% of my interactions in that game are encountering raiders. Raiders who do horrible things. In Fallout 76, that part of the experience is just totally lacking, and it has had a massive impact on the community you find. But today, we are going to fix that. And that's why in this video, I'm going to do the community a service, fix one of the biggest problems in this game, and that is grief some of these players. This will have the effect of hardening them, making them toxic and hate each other. Maybe they'll even start griefing other players' camps as a result of my actions. This is going to be a massive step forward for Fallout 76. It's going to bring back one of our favorite factions with the Raiders, but even further, it's going to finally put this game more in line with all the other online survival games out there, and I think we could pretty much all agree that that is a much needed change. So I kind of assumed a lot of you guys would want to help me on this journey, give me a hand in improving Fallout 76 following all of the backlash it has received. So I'm really structuring this video as a guide, a bit of a walkthrough as to how you can also grief other players. One of the prime targets for this are going to be users' camps in Fallout 76. For many, these act as their abode that they put tons of hours of work into. With just a few shots from your shotgun, or even something a bit more powerful, you can cause mass destruction at these locations. Although Bethesda, being one step ahead as they typically are, made our jobs a little bit more difficult. See, even though you might just encounter somebody else's camp, that's not always the norm. And unfortunately, looking at the map of Fallout 76, you can't just see other people's camps. But there are some pretty clear indications as to where somebody's camps are. Seek out little clusters of players in the middle of nowhere. That almost always means they're hanging out at somebody's camp. And using this technique, you'll find a success rate of roughly 73.5%. From there, you typically want to find yourself with a good vantage point, get some of the appropriate ammo and weapons ready, make sure your sights are aligned, and then, actually before that, we have a word from today's video sponsor. And that's going to be my very own merch store. I'm really excited to be working with this company today. Our visions, our goals really seem to align, and I think it's just a perfect fit for this channel. On this, you could find all kinds of epic t-shirts, or really like 3.5. Do you want the epic Boston, Massachusetts shirt? Or maybe you just like Deathclaws and like seeing half of their faces dismembered. This website's gonna have pretty much everything you want, and I would definitely not miss this big opportunity. There's no sales or anything, but it's just a huge opportunity to purchase things off of it. I know not all of you love the sponsor integration, so I wanted to keep that one short, but before we jump right back into things, I do want to give a message from today's second video sponsor, that being my Twitter account. By just clicking that follow button, you're going to gain access to a wealth of knowledge. Whether it be complaining about school or decisions professors make, some of the latest happenings around Fallout 76, or my thoughts while mildly inebriated. All of that and much, much more can be found by clicking on that link down below, and trust me, you won't regret following me. There's been a lot of notable individuals to follow me over the past year, and many of them have nothing but positive words for me, my account, and what I tweet. This is another organization that's ideals, brand, and just pretty much everything about them really aligns with this channel, and I think it'd be a huge missed opportunity if you don't check it out. But jumping back into Fallout 76, I did want to continue on our journey with griefing other players. When we last left off, we had our sights aligned. We were looking down the barrel at our target. Although before we jump into that, I do want to just take a short moment to talk about the third video sponsor for this one, and that's actually going to be Bethesda's store. This is a little bit of a different sponsorship. Bethesda hasn't yet reached out to me to do a sponsorship, but I figure they will in the future, so I figure I'd just get a jump start and start doing some of those ad spots and sending them over some of those invoices. This store is actually pretty special because on it, you're going to be able to find certain things that are industry best, such as some of the top tier apparel currently in the jacket market. Trust me, this is unparalleled. It is using one of the rarest canvas materials you can find today, or even some of the best-selling games of 2018, things that truly pushed the market forward. So again, Bethesda, if you're watching this, my email is in the description. You can reach out and pay me for this ad. If not, I could always just send the bill over to you. But now finally back into Fallout 76, we last left off with our barrels aimed at these enemy players, and the next thing you're going to want to do is actually turn roughly 90 degrees, so wherever you fire, it's actually not going to hit any of that stuff, but create a loud enough boom or a noise to gain their attention. From there, what you're going to really want to do is walk up the hill and engage in casual conversation. For me personally, I found a lot of success in complimenting some of their statues or even the design of their base. But this is a key step in this process as it builds trust between you and your enemy. You give the facade of being their friend, they allow you into their base to use their crafting tables, and this is the core part. This is when you have the opportunity to strike. We all know that an internal blast is much more devastating than an external one, so typically from this point I would actually offer a trade or even potentially give some of my items away to these people, especially if they're lower levels. That really allows them to get a jump start into this game and just hopefully have a better overall experience. Using this technique, I have had a lot of success. I've had numerous people add me to their friends list, invite me to their teams, or even alternatively just wish me a good day.
You too, take care now.
Well, let's just say you're extreme. That wasn't enough for you. You don't want to just take down people's camps, you want to take down them in themselves. You guys are going to have to bear with me for this one. This plan, this course of action is still in its early stages, but I have found some preliminary success. So as an alternate method, what you can do is actually look around the map for players as close to level 5 as possible. After locating one, you're going to want to fast travel to their location and walk up to them in person, making some kind of greeting, similar to what we did previously. Although it's extremely important to remember for this one, low-level players are a very different breed. Your same communication tactics may not have the same success with their minimally developed brains. Take, for example, this interaction. Hey man, are you new to this game? Did you just get this game? As I try and make moves on this low level, try and do how the kids say, break the ice, I hear little to no success. I get next to nothing back. Every once in a while, after making certain gestures, you do get a faint sound of noises from their account. I assume this is in the process of desperately trying to figure out where the microphone key is. As you follow some of these players around, you'll notice the extremely peculiar nature of their actions. Sometimes they'll just crouch around for no reason. Other times you'll find them aimlessly looking into one direction or missing a bunch of shots. Now, as I mentioned before, my experiments in studying of these low levels is still in its preliminary stages, but so far everything is pointing to the fact that you don't even have to grief these guys. They're so new to the game and really have no idea what they're doing to begin with that you kind of could just watch them and laugh. They'll cause more than enough harm to themselves and potentially even others just by picking the wrong perks or even going into a level 70 zone when they're under level 20. I'm wrapping up this video and I just realized it's not quite at 10 minutes yet. Longtime viewers of the channel know exactly what that means. Expose that YouTuber! That's right, we're gonna have another iteration of Expose That YouTuber, where we give out some of the juicy details and expose some other Fallout YouTubers. Over the past year, between E3 and the Bethesda Greenbrier event, I had the opportunity to meet several YouTubers. This gives me a wide variety to choose from, but for the purposes of this video, we're gonna expose, drumroll please, Camel Works. So honestly, where do I even begin with this guy? First and foremost, he's not a camel, despite in several videos referencing to himself as such. And even beyond all of that, at this past E3, I met him and in real life, he's a really cool dude. Not sure all of you guys saw that one coming, but boom. Either way, it looks like that about wraps it up for our time in this video. We're approaching that 10-minute mark now, so you really want to draw out your words, maybe just try to talk a bit slower or have bigger gaps in between each successive word. You also might just throw in a useless or otherwise ignorable sentence in between certain things because that's